If you thought September was a big month for cozy gamers, then buckle up because October is about to be just as good. Because not only do we have some absolutely massive cozy games coming out in the month of October, including some of my most anticipated ones, we also have a ton of cozy gaming news, like the release date of Stardew Valley 1.6 on consoles. We also got the first look at a brand new My Time game and some brand new DLCs coming to our favorite cozy games. First up, let's talk about the sponsor of today's video, Tales of the Shire, as they just gave us a brand new showcase with not only a ton of information, but they also let me play a demo of the game as well, so we have so much to share today. Now, if you haven't heard of Tales of the Shire, this is essentially a Hobbit life sim. And the game will see you not only decorate your Hobbit hole, tend your garden, fish, forage, trade, and even cook and share food to foster relationships with other Hobbits, but there's also an entire story as well. You see, you live in the town of Bywater, a town not yet established as an official village in Hobbiton, but you set off to do your part in order to help this town flourish and put this on the map by becoming an official village. Now, one thing I wasn't expecting was how detailed not only the cooking mechanics were, but also the decorating as well. As in order for the story to move forwards, you really need to focus on your relationships. And the key to relationships with a Hobbit is all to do with the food and the food parties that you throw for them. And thankfully, I really enjoyed the cooking mechanic, although it is a little bit difficult to master, especially at first when you maybe don't have all the cooking equipment you need. The decorating, however, is something a lot of people are going to enjoy, as the focus was not only on aesthetics, but also making sure that your home looks lived in, with there being no grids and no restrictions to where you place items. For me, this entire game hinges on its story and also the characters. And thankfully, so far, every Hobbit that I've met has just been oozing with so much personality. And with the game being delayed until March 25th, I can't wait to see what extra stuff they pack into it. So if you're interested in checking out Tales of the Shire, make sure to click the link in the description down below. We also finally got the news that Stardew Valley 1.6 update will be coming to consoles and mobile on November 4th. I've been really enjoying my time with this on PC, as this has a ton of different updates in it, but the biggest of which is the brand new farm layout called Meadowlands, which gives you lots of room for you to care for animals and even starts you off with 2 chickens that the game names for you. This also adds some brand new festivals and events to the game, my favourite of which is the bookseller. And Concerned Ape himself said the best way to experience this update is to start a brand new farm. And I'm so glad we finally have a release date. Next up, let's talk about the brand new My Time game called My Time at Evershine. Now, I'm going to be real, I wasn't expecting to see a brand new My Time game quite this early, but from what I've seen so far, I'm actually really excited for it, as this not only looks to have a brand new art style, but will also see you take on a brand new role in the town as well. Now, this game will take place 3 years after the events of My Time at Sandrock and My Time at Portia, and will see you move to a brand new region to become its governor. And it's your job to build the town from the ground up, as not only will you need to recruit settlers and tame the wilds to build up your town, you'll also be charged of building and designing each and every building. And from what I've seen so far, this seems to be a pure life sim RPG with no aspects of farming whatsoever. But don't worry, if you are a huge My Time lover, there's still a large focus on story, relationships, seasonal events, and so much of what made these games special before. This is also the very first game to announce that it'll be coming to the Nintendo Switch successor. But you can decide if this means they know something or if it was just a really clever PR stunt. We also got the news that 2 Point Museum will be releasing on March 4th. The only issue is they haven't mentioned the Nintendo Switch yet. Now, although I was a little bit skeptical about 2 Point Museum at first, this is something I'm now very much looking forward to after playing a little bit of it, as this includes all the management stuff you're used to in 2 Point games, but with a little bit of a twist. Because in this, you are of course running a museum, but in order to get artifacts to display play. In it, you'll have to send members of staff on expeditions in order to find and bring back different artifacts. And one thing I really liked is the fact that sometimes they'll come back with 1 or 2 pieces of dinosaur bones, and it'll be up to you to send them on enough expeditions in order to complete the skeleton, as that's what people really like to see. You'll also have to deal with maintaining all of the artifacts, so getting people to look after them and clean them. And then of course you can decorate in order to wow your customers so they donate and give you even more money. All we can do is hope that we get some Nintendo Switch news about it soon. Next up, let's talk about Moonstone Island because it's getting another free update. And this is to celebrate Moonstone Island officially being 1 year old. So they're bringing not only a brand new free DLC to the PC and Nintendo Switch on September 30th, they're also releasing the final paid DLC as well. Now, I'm actually really excited for the free update, as this is bringing in something that might be the only thing that was missing in Moonstone Island, and that is events. With the update including 3 seasonal festivals, new dialogue, new spirits, and even new characters to meet as well. Now, the paid DLC we don't know a whole lot about. We just know that it's called Autumnal Accessories and that it will pair nicely with the Halloween and Christmas DLCs as well. And as sad as I am to see this be the last DLC, I hope this means that they're starting work on their very next game, as this is one of my favorite cozy games of all time. I can't wait to see what they do next. So that's it for cozy gaming news. Let's talk about all the upcoming cozy games in October. First up, we have Europa. Now, thanks to an incredible demo on the Nintendo Switch, this is a game I am insanely excited for. As in this, you play as an android named Z. And this will see you fly, glide, and run across the breathtaking landscapes of the moon Europa. A planet with not only stunning landscapes, but also the remains of a fallen utopia. And in this, you get to learn all about the story of the last human alive by finding scattered letters around as you explore. And in this, it's not just the visuals that are beautiful, as the message and the narration behind each of the letters you find telling the story are also wonderfully heartbreaking. I love a cozy game that is just whimsical and fun, but there's something different about a cozy game that makes you truly feel something. And to me, that's what sets apart the best cozy games from the good ones. So I am really excited for this, even if it's probably going to make me cry. Speaking of cozy games that just make you feel happy, we have the brand new Power Wash Sim Shrek DLC coming on the 10th of October. Now, one thing I really like about this is the fact that they couldn't have you cleaning up mud, because after all, that's something Shrek really enjoys. So instead, you're cleaning up glitter. And in this, you get 5 different maps to choose from, including Dewlock, Hansel's Honeymoon Getaway, Shrek's Swamp, Fairy Godmother's Potion Factory, and also the Dragon's Lair. I honestly don't know how Power Wash Sim comes up with these ideas, but seeing as I adore the Shrek movies, I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with this. Then on October 15th, we have Neva, and this is one of my most anticipated games of the year, as it's made by the makers of Grizz. This is described as being an emotionally charged action adventure, and judging by the trailer, this is going to be one emotional journey. Neva follows the story of Alba, a young woman who, after a traumatic encounter with a dark force, winds up bound to an adorable wolf cub. And this will follow their journey through a once beautiful world that now decays all around them. And over time, their relationship will grow and change as they do, seeing the wolf cub grow from a rebellious cub to an adult trying to forge their own identity, testing both of their relationships. And they need to do whatever it takes to not only make a brand new home, but to also survive together. And although this is a bit more combat heavy than the likes of Grizz, this looks to be just as beautiful. Then on October 17th, we have Super Mario Party Jamboree. Now, I was lucky enough to already get to play this when I went and visited Nintendo headquarters, and I feel like this is just the best of all of the Mario parties on the Switch being put together into one. as these mini games have a mix of some with motion controls and some with no motion controls. This also has a set of brand new maps that are a lot of fun, and even brand new modes as well, including weekly challenges and the ability to play against up to 19 other people on one map. And when I got to play this, it was chaotic, but so much fun. As this works slightly differently to normal modes, because every mini game you play in this mode will require you to collect coins, and however many coins you get is how many spaces you move on the map. So don't worry, you don't have to wait for all 20 people to do their turns before it gets back to you. Mario Party is my go-to game whenever I'm with family or friends, so I'm really excited to play this, especially at Christmas time. Next up, we have Life is Strange Double Exposure on the 29th of October. Life is Strange is easily one of the best choice-based narrative games there is. Now in Life is Strange Double Exposure, we'll be back to following Max Caulfield, but this will be 10 years after the first Life is Strange game, and follows her story after she discovers her new friend Safi dead. But when she goes to rewind time like she did all those years ago, she instead winds up in a parallel universe. And in this one, her friend is alive, but still very much in danger as the killer is after her. Now, I was lucky enough to play around half an hour of this at Gamescom and got to ask the developers some questions. And I did find out that your choice in the first Life is Strange game will impact this Life is Strange game as well. So although you don't have to have played the first game to enjoy this one, I definitely recommend giving it a go, as the stories do carry on from one another. And although I was a little bit skeptical at first as to how the parallel timeline mechanic would work, they've come up with some really clever puzzles, as this will see you effectively walk into different rifts scattered around the area to change which universe you're in. And from there you can take different objects or get information from different people to help you in your original timeline. I am really excited for this, and I only got more excited after playing the demo, so I can't wait to check this out later in the month. Next up is Amber Isle, and the release date depends on if you're getting this on PC or Nintendo Switch. As on PC, this is releasing on the 10th of October, and on Nintendo Switch, this is coming on the 31st of October. Now, thankfully, both the Nintendo Switch and the PC price are exactly the same, unlike other games we've been seeing recently. And this is Animal Crossing, but with dinosaurs. Now, I played the demo of this a few months ago and thought this held a lot of promise, as this will see you quite literally crash land in a small town. And to repay your debt for, well, accidentally falling, you're tasked with running a store and ultimately helping the mayor build up a once great town into something good once again. I love the fact that everything you sell in your store needs to be crafted by yourself, giving you a whole reason and a purpose to everything that you do. And I'm going to be real, the first time I played this, I actually spent a good hour in character creation, as you get to customize your very own dinosaur. I'm really excited to see what changes have been made since the demo of this, but I'm also a little bit nervous about how this is going to run on the Nintendo Switch. The last game on today's list is Potionomics, which is coming to the Nintendo Switch October 22nd. And this is a really unique take on a deck building game, which, if you know how much time I've been spending on Balatro lately, you'll know this is a style of game I never thought would be for me, and yet here I am absolutely loving them. This will see you play as Sylvia, who after the death of her uncle finds herself running a potion store. And it's your job to help her negotiate, craft, and outdo the competitors to not only try and keep the store afloat, but to also try and be the #1 potion seller in all of the land. Now, negotiations themselves are done by playing the right cards, helping you to try and develop friendships with each of the adventurers you meet. And you're in charge of absolutely everything to do with running a potion store, as you'll be in charge of decorating, choosing the ingredients for the potions, and actually brewing them as well. So there's plenty to keep you busy. This is a really unique style of game, and I'm really interested to see not only what it's like, but also how it plays on the Nintendo Switch, as our indie game luck has not been too good lately. Let me know in the comments down below which of these games you'll be picking up, and if you want to see some of the best games I played at Gamescom, click this video here.